this particular person, this is a specific question, but I'm going to broaden it out. It says, how should I reply when told believing in God as the reason for creation is lazy compared to believing in scientific theories? But I want to broaden it out so that it's not just about creation and scientific theories, because I think a lot of us are looking for a reason to believe in God. Most Christians don't believe in God because they're just looking for an origins explanation, but because they think that he's actually there. What reason do we have for really believing in God, and why would we even want him to be there anyways?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. At times of trouble, we sometimes think it would be nice if God was there, but sometimes it can be a slightly scary thought too. Simply because of what we were talking about earlier, about this whole idea of light coming in and shining in our life to show us what we're actually really like. And I think there are a variety of responses to that. The first one is that, and I can't remember exactly who said this first, but if I was to invent a God, I wouldn't invent the Christian one. I'd invent someone very different. Certainly not one who actually talked about the fact that there will be a day of reckoning and will be held to account. That's not what I would put in there at all. And so the fact is that there is a God who's revealed in the Bible, who is historically revealed, who was physically incarnated, who we can establish went to the cross on our behalf. There's a very strong argument for his resurrection from history. I think when we look at actually some of the science, and again, John Lennox is a scientist, I know that book's going to be made available. There are many scientists who are adults who have become Christians. Richard Dawkins, I think, once made the real comment, yes, but it's like coming to believe in Father Christmas. And Professor Alistair McGrath, who I've also had the privilege of working with, and who I know was also taught you, when you were with us in Oxford. Alistair McGrath says, well, look, I've met a lot of children who used to believe in Father Christmas and grew up to disbelieve in him. But I have never seen an adult who didn't believe in him come to suddenly believe in Father Christmas. But I've seen many adults who were atheists, such as myself and a scientist, who've come to believe in him. The evidence is actually, I would say, very, very strong. So he is there. But we also see that he cares. And again, it's fascinating. The idea that God is righteous, which can sound scary to us because it means that he is good. Now that phrase, again, as we understand it biblically, both in the Tanakh and the first 5 books of the Bible, and in the New Testament, that phrase means more than a moral standard. It also refers to God's mighty acts in history in order to save, which is why in the book of Romans, chapter 3, it says, we have now seen God's righteousness more brilliantly displayed in the person of Jesus Christ and his son. It's not saying God was almost good in the Old Testament, but he's much morally better now. It's saying, no, we have seen his mighty acts in history in order to save in the past, through the parting of the Red Sea and rescuing people and so on. We have seen that. That was his righteousness at work. But now we have seen a righteousness displayed where he is bringing salvation for all people, for anyone who's willing to turn to him to find forgiveness and peace with God. And so it's not just the fact that there's all the objective side there, there's also then the existential reality of entering into a relationship with him, which is so important because it means that when the argument fails or our mind is exhausted, there is still actually a person, that God is inviting us not to accept an idea or to believe in a creed, but to enter into a relationship with an actual person. And those personal relationships are things which are able to transcend all of the trauma and all of the other difficulty that we may see in the world and sustain us. And that's the other side of this equation, which helps bring that reality home. And it's the one that I hope everyone will be able to take away from this evening.